Welcome back, friends and family of the internet and fellow watchers on the wall. Guys, I'm not going to lie to you. I seriously struggled with this video and I need your help. I need you to watch these clips with me and I need to have your honest opinion at the end of them. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? There was a time that I actually, and it's still there in the community, you can go back and look on our homepage for YouTube that says, Erica Kirk, congratulations for being, picked CEO of TPUSA. I even put a post, Erica Kirk has knocked down every weapon that's been formed against her, to now being very sus about her. I don't know what I am, but I went from total support of Erica Kirk. And in 2 weeks, I'm now fully suspecting that something isn't right there. I began to notice the lack of true emotion and inappropriate reactions that just seems very off to me. Most of you know by now that my husband at 46 has a brain aneurysm. Like, guys, I'm telling you, the way she's reacting just doesn't feel authentic any longer. I began to feel like everything was becoming very politicized, like I was being led by the nose to perceive the assassination a certain way and to respond emotionally to the assassination a certain way. On top of that, I was being told over and over and over again, and I have said it over and over and over again, that Charley Kirk was martyred. But now I realize that he was assassinated, and that is very different from being martyred. And let me explain. You have a choice when you're martyred. Like, the gun's literally there, and a question is put to you: serve Jesus or give up your life. That didn't happen for Charley. Charley depended on the people around him to protect him, and they dropped the ball ridiculously. I'm still very concerned about that, but they dropped the ball. Charley put his life in their hands, and he was not given a choice. He was assassinated. Now, I believe he was assassinated because he loved Jesus, and that's why I always, in my heart, kind of felt like he was martyred, but that's two different things. Being assassinated because of your political views versus being martyred for loving Jesus. So do you guys understand that? And how do you feel about that? Drop it in comments for me real quick. Something else, I don't trust the investigation anymore, right? And there's too many connections with the major players in this to the occult and to Masonic and Eastern Star symbolism. And I've done many, many videos on that. You can go to our playlist. It's linked up there, and you can watch all of those after this. By the way, if you've never seen me before, my name is Samantha. I'm the owner-operator of a 2-acre farmstead located here in Southeast Louisiana. I'm just like you guys. I just published a book, Growing Under a Poisoned Sky. If you're interested in picking one up, you can find it at eBay, Google, Barnes and Nobles, even Walmart online. Something else I kind of would like to say here: YouTube does not pay me. I get a little frustrated when people come on and like, oh, Israel's paying for you. Oh, you're grifting Charley Kirk so you can make money. No, I haven't been paid by YouTube in 7 months. So if you would like, oh, sorry, I didn't pick what I was trying to put behind me. If you'd like to support what we do here and the truth that we bring, look in the top of comments. But I do this for flipping free. You tell me another content creator puts out as much content that I do for free.
So let's take it right from the top. At first, she's talking about how her husband wanted to save young men, like the one who took his life. And the moment she says, my husband Charley, we immediately see an eye block. And we're going to see this a lot throughout this speech and in this moment. So we could consider this part of her baseline, but let's talk about why this happens. So research has shown that we are born with this reflex to close our eyes conversationally. And it happens when we're trying to keep a thought in or keep a thought out. So anytime you see it, assume that the person's either trying to hold on to something or trying to block something out. And the interesting thing with Erica is throughout this speech, I think there are moments where both of those things happen. Sometimes I think she's trying to hold on to love, to hope, to a thought, to a memory. So see that eye block? And sometimes I do believe she's trying to keep things out. In this case, it's probably happening because she knows the segment she's about to go into. She knows it's going to be emotionally very difficult. And I think she's doing this to summon the courage it's going to take to get through this. And the reason I believe that is we're about to see a couple of very deep breaths, but especially breaths like this, which we very often do. Eye block and that combined when we're trying to summon courage to get through something. Now, immediately after that, as she says, just like the one who took his life, so Charley wanted to save young men, just like the one who took his life, the first universal emotion makes an appearance. Now, the universal emotions are emotions that have been studied all over the world, and the research shows that they look more or less the same everywhere in the world and have very high recognizability anywhere you go. In other words, these are emotions that are so deeply embedded in human behavior that we see them in all cultures. And in this case, we are seeing anger. And let me show you how we could spot that. So first off, you'll notice after that statement, immediately, we notice tension in the jaw. So we see the muscles here in the jaw kind of tense up. The other thing you'll notice is that her eyebrows are down like this, which is another sign of anger. And what
Okay, so there is a reason why I showed you guys this, because when I originally watched the memorial, I didn't pick up on that so much. I was listening to her say, I forgive him. But now when I go back and look, I don't feel like that was genuine. I feel like that was an emotional hook. That was an expectation. So don't go anywhere because I'm going to show you further why I believe that. Everybody that spoke before her was like prepping for that moment of emotions. And guys, I've said on this channel so many times, listen, your emotions are going to get you in trouble. Okay. Your emotions should not come into play when you're making business deals, when you're making life choices, when you're making any kind of decision. You should try to put how you feel aside. Everything should be based on fact. They should be based on moral correctness and what God says is right or wrong, not your emotions. If people did that, we'd have a lot less people cheating and committing adultery or even stealing because it's what they want to do in that moment. So I hope that you guys can understand where I'm coming with that. This one I found very interesting because he's going to go into something I've not heard anybody speak about, where Masonic numbers, he goes way deeper than even what I did in my previous videos. If you want to know who these people are that I'm showcasing, all of this will be in the description of the video. That's right underneath where the title is. There's something called description, and all these videos will be linked there with the creators' names so that you can go check them out and possibly subscribe. By the way, please don't forget to hit the like button, drop the comment, subscribe, so that way we can break through the algorithm and get this information out. Because I was Team Erica up until about 2 weeks ago. And then something in me just began to rebel against this idea of the grieving widow. Like, I began to realize that there was a very nefarious reason they want to present her that way.
Drive, She's My Kind of Crazy music video. So in 2012, Erica Kirk, whose name was then Francie, last name Francie? Francie? Okay, I guess that's kind of wild. She's in this music video, okay? She's a video vixen. Charley loved the vixens because there's a lot going on with this video, particularly in relation to numerology. Now, my stance on numerology, I've stated it several times, but it's really the fact that I think that numerology is sort of like the coding to the universe. Okay, so I think with numerology you can do a lot of divination. It's obviously massive in the occult, and the first thing is this video is 3 minutes and 22 seconds long. Now 322 is the number for the skull and bones association. Now 322 refers to the year 322 BCE, which is the death of the Greek orator Demosthenes, which is interesting because obviously Kirk was essentially an orator. That's what he did. Demosthenes was an orator and he was a statesman, and his death actually led to the fall of the Athenian democracy. If you know anything about the occult, if you know anything about just reality from an esoteric kind of lens, everything rhymes. Everything is intentionally this sort of dance where everything is recycled, renewed, and made relevant again. There is no way this is a coincidence. I don't believe in coincidences, and one like this is too big to ignore. In fact, the Skull and Bones Society is actually called Order 322. So it's not just a number. It's literally that's what it's called. Now, that's something I actually have never seen anyone talk about thus far, but I think that's interesting because his death marked a massive shift in the politics that were in Athens at the time. Now, 322 also refers to the year 1832, which is when the Skull and Bones Society at Yale was formed. Now, there's also a ton of other things that this number connects to, such as Genesis 3:22 in the Bible, also Freemasonic Lodge number 322, which was a lodge that was in England. There's a bunch of other things and a bunch of other reasons, but these are the main ones. And if you don't know, Yale is the school that the Skull and Bones operates out of. The Bushes were massive in the Skull and Bones organization. These sort of secret societies and mystery schools, it's not really a mystery school, it's more of a secret society. It's more of an order. It's Order 322. These things operate and permeate within social circles, okay?
Within social circles. I've said it and said it and said it. You and I are not like these people. Candace Owens and her husband, George Former, that was an arranged marriage, basically. Almost feel that way now about Charley Kirk, like this was an arranged marriage. You go look at Kash Patel, the red flag I did the other day, and his girlfriend. Tell me what you see there. Tell me the authenticity behind that. And let's not forget, the Bushes were in control when 9/11 happened, right? Let's not forget that Erika Franzi's grandfather was in a Swedish order of Masonic people. Let's not forget that Candace Owens clearly stated, I was a Mason of TPUSA.
There are people you probably have known who are Masons, who are involved in these sort of organizations. They definitely get their bidding done in various ways. Okay, it's absolutely something that needs to be sort of addressed and looked at here. But let's kind of go forward with more of the numerology, because at one point, Erika Kirk is ziplining through Fremont Street, which is a street in Vegas. I've done a lot of cocaine on that street. I have stories about Fremont Street. In fact, one time I almost had a Samoan lesbian try to fight me at a bar one time. I was literally coked to the gills. My eyes were literally like this big. And she was like, your eyes look crazy. I was like, I'll fucking beat your fucking ass. I'm gonna be a YouTuber in fucking 5 years. It's fucking...
Okay.
That is either the most precise planning by these mysteries, 122 weeks before Charley Kirk. 66 days, which is 300.
Sorry, guys. I was trying to get off what he was saying.
The birthday of Yale. Yale is obviously where the Skull and Bones Society was born. And the Charley Kirk show started 6 years and 66 days, which is 322 weeks before Charley Kirk's death. This is the kind of stuff you cannot make up. This is the kind of stuff that is either the most precise planning by these mystery schools, or it is the divine machinations of something beyond our understanding. Far beyond.
So again, all of this will be in the description. Now, next one. You just got to hear the beginning of this.
The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society. And we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings. For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means. I am asking your help in the tremendous task of informing and alerting the American people.
33rd degree members of the secret order of Freemasons.
And they found Tyler Robinson at the 33rd hour. Look it up. They bragged about it, the 33rd hour. Guys, this one really bothers me.
See Erica and her strength and her courage. I'm reminded of a famous expression. The storm whispers to the warrior that you cannot withstand my strength. And the warrior whispers back, I am the storm. Erica is the storm. We are the storm. And our enemies cannot comprehend our strength, our determination, our resolve, our passion. Our lineage and our legacy hails back to Athens, to Rome, to Philadelphia, to Monticello. Our ancestors built the cities. They produced the art and architecture. They built the industry. Erica stands on the shoulders of thousands of years of warriors, of women who raised up families, raised up city, raised up industry, raised up civilization, who pulled us out of the caves and the darkness into the light. The light will defeat the dark.
Just stop right here and give you guys just a bit of information so you understand what he's saying. Erika Kirk's grandfather, the Swedish one I was talking about, in the Sweden sect of like Viking masonry, there is a connection to Nephilim. You either know or you don't know, friends. That's another video. I'm not going to get into it here. He's talking about coming out of the caves. He's talking about all the way back to Greece and Rome. The lineage, that's all Masonic side speak. It's very precise language. If you know anything about the movie Snake Eyes, most of you that are watching this have seen the connections to the Charley Kirk assassination and the movie Snake Eyes, right? Remember, they said there's a hurricane coming called Jezebel, and they went, no, it's not a hurricane. It's a storm. So the storm Jezebel was coming. And on top of that, Jezebel magazine paid to have curses and hexes put on Charley Kirk 2 weeks prior to his assassination in Orem, Utah. Not just Utah, Orem. What is Orem? What does Orem mean? Orem means dragon. Satan refers to himself as the angel of light, but he was not. That is deception. So the light will beat the darkness.
We will prevail over the forces of wickedness and evil. They cannot imagine what they have awakened. They cannot conceive of the army that they have arisen in all of us. Because we stand for what is good, what is virtuous, what is noble.
Did a video the other day for you guys about Hitler. Talked about Hitler in the video. Hitler was a Christian. They want you to believe he was into occult things, and maybe he was, and he was. There's some evidence there. But him and the majority of people in the Nazi regime were Christian. They were Protestants and Catholics. They were Jesuits. And yet they managed to murder 6 million Jews, all in the name of God. Be very careful with this mantra of build a Christian army, friends and family of the internet. Please be careful with this.
And to those trying to incite violence against us, those trying to foment hatred against us, what do you have? You have nothing. You are nothing. You are wickedness, you are jealousy, you are envy, you are hatred. You are nothing. You can build nothing. You can produce nothing. You can create nothing. We are the ones who build. We are the ones who create. We are the ones who lift up humanity.
We are the ones who lift up humanity? Who is we?
You thought you could kill Charley Kirk? You have made him immortal. You have immortalized Charley Kirk. And
you have made him immortal.
Now millions will carry on his legacy. And we will devote the rest of our lives to finishing the causes for which Charley gave his last measure of devotion. You cannot defeat us, you cannot slow us, you cannot stop us, you cannot deter us. We will carry Charley and Erica in our heart every single day and fight that much harder because of what you did to us. You have no idea the dragon you have awakened. You have no idea how determined we will be to save this civilization.
You have awakened the dragon. Why would Christians use the symbol of dark to speak about Christians? Candace Owens did it on her podcast. I was a dragon all over the auditorium, just waiting to blast them, waiting on a word from the queen. Yeah, I went from believing that she could be Esther to believing that she's much darker than that, friends.
Notice the sound. It's a lot. Okay, I'm going to stop it right there. If you are a person of faith and you are calling upon God, your source of strength and inspiration to help you, this is something that you're going to do private, right? No person of faith is going to display this, in this super dramatic, all this whispering, that's not authentic. It just is not. That's very performative, and it's trying to show I am a person of faith. I am struggling with this. If you are truly struggling, and this is one thing that you will learn as an actor, a person who is truly struggling is always trying to hide it. That's what we do when we are truly struggling. We try our best to hide it. We don't.
By the way, let me apologize because I'm not going to go back and delete my older videos. I want you to see what changed my opinion. So I need to leave the older videos there so you guys can see how my mind changed. But the leaked video of her laying over him in the coffin, whispering, is very creepy to me now, friends and family of the internet. But she's fixing to break this down really, really good. Watch her. And Erica even brings up Charley running for office, political office, which I told you guys, he was going to do. Now they're going to slip her into his place because they can control her. She's
in shock. It just isn't. She's very composed. And just let me see if I can replay it.
Victims on that terrible afternoon.
Also, I want to say that terrible afternoon. So when investigators, for example, are interviewing a suspect or a possible suspect, right? One of the first things that they do is they try to distance themselves from what actually happened. So that terrible afternoon, not, the day he got killed, right? So they try to minimize what actually happened, and they try to minimize also like their involvement in it. And sometimes they will even talk about themselves in third person. So everything's kind of like pushed away. So that terrible afternoon, well, I don't know, but I would think that it's more than just like terrible. Like you lost your husband in this very tragic and violent way. Like I think it goes beyond terrible, but why is she diminishing it? Let's go on.
I want to thank the officers who have protected our Turning Point USA family.
See how matter of fact?
These past 2 days.
So matter of fact.
And I want to thank the Turning Point USA board.
The board.
The COO, Justin Strife.
The COO, the board, this is what you're thinking of? This is what's on your head?
I want to thank the staffers of his amazing Charley Kirk show.
What is there to laugh about? I don't understand these reactions. These reactions are not congruent with what just happened. Not for a person who's in shock, not for a person who's in mourning. And I will address I know what you're thinking. I will address this later on. Let's just get through this somehow.
Who helped him broadcast from the studio,
okay, gesturing. I told you guys, right? And it's right on cue. It's like from this, it's to me repulsive. It is perverse what is happening here. So I am trying to keep it together. But this type of gesturing, looking over exactly on cue on this, like what is that? Like, what is that? This is so using devices for all this drama, for all this, like, I can't. I get so upset about this. But anyway, let's continue.
This chair. Every day he loved it. He loved what he did.
Every day.
I want to thank the millions of people who have shown.
Okay, I want you to notice how quickly she turned, right? Because she's going every day. Like she's so heartbroken. And immediately, it turns into every day. I want to thank, notice this, I'm going to rewind.
I want to thank the millions of people who have shown their love for Charley.
Notice how quickly she changes her demeanor and the tone of her voice on cue.
What he did. I want to thank the millions of people who have shown.
He loved what he did. I want to thank the million. Do you guys not see something wrong with this? Am I the only person here?
I think her video was great. Her video really solidified for me how I was already feeling, right? Sorry, guys, I've got crazy hair. My hair I'm 6% black. So it rains. My hair goes crazy. What do you think? Are we talking about Erica, the Esther with the big round eyes, or is this the biggest psyop ever? If you watched my video earlier with the ex-Antifa, go watch that. Don't think that it's not worth your time to hear us discuss Charley Kirk, Tyler Robinson, Antifa, what's happening in our country, because this little young man nailed it. He said before they assassinated Charley Kirk, there was an understanding, a coming to the table between the extreme right, people like Proud Boys, these people like Stephen Miller, these really almost fascist people, and the extreme left, these really almost like fascist people, Antifa, they were coming to the table. They were beginning to put aside their differences to work for their individual communities, to see things be fixed inside of their communities. And then Charlie Kirk was assassinated, and everything's off the table. They're back at each other's throats. You tell me what this is that we're living in. You tell me you feel safe, that you aren't expecting a full and utter lockdown of our country like any moment. Look, guys, I'm a Christian, I'm Republican. I never could vote Democrat. I voted for my sheriff. He's Democrat, but he's also a Christian Democrat, and he's very moderate. She's basically Republican. I don't know why he still goes under the Democrat thing, because I guess I live in a majority Black community. He knows he can't get in if he doesn't run under a Democrat ticket. He's not stupid. I just don't know, you guys. And moving in, like, they're expecting something bad to happen on 10/10, which was another number Erica zip lines by in that music video, 10/10. They're expecting, supposedly, the Epstein files are supposed to come out in its totality. Personally, today is October 6th, and seeing what's happening in Portland, I think we'll have a full and utter shutdown of our country on 10/10. Yeah, I think you should probably just get some cash on hand, fill your cars up with gas. You should have these things in place already, but just in case, get your shopping done earlier this week, get your bills caught up as much as you can, and just be prepared. Have bug out bags, have videos on those, know where you're going to go, have paper maps of your community, know where to meet up with your family outside of the cities or your town in a safe location in case you get separated. Like, one kid's in high school and one's in college, and you know what I'm saying. I love you guys very much. Please like, comment, subscribe. Please share this video. If you'd like to row in our boat, I am trying to put money aside for my husband's surgery. It's next week, and he will not be able to work for a minute. And nope, just like you, we don't. We're out of sick days. There's nothing for hardworking Americans in this country right now, which is much of the frustration many of us feel. So to the ones of you that have been rowing in my boat lately and for the past 7 months, God bless you. Seriously, I love you guys so very much. Please stay safe. Let me know what you think.